Hey guys, it's Bro You Whack, and a lot of people have been coming back to the Overwatch community with the recent release of the Overwatch 2 beta. Which, by the way, if you still don't have access to the Overwatch 2 beta, I'm actually going to be live right now on Twitch, where there's going to be an 8-hour window for you to watch 4 hours of me playing Overwatch 2, where after watching 4 hours, you're going to get guaranteed access to the Overwatch 2 beta. So go check me out on Twitch, because the Overwatch 2 beta is one of the best experiences Overwatch has had in a long time, but a reason for that is because so many people are coming back into the Overwatch community. So because there's so many people coming back, or even new faces showing up for the very first time, I thought now would be a good time to make a video talking about 5 of the easiest heroes to play in Overwatch 2 that are set up to give you the best chance to be effective in the game. But also know that if I call a hero quote unquote easy, it doesn't mean a hero is skillless. Every single hero in the game requires skill. So finally, let's look at our very first hero. Moira is one of the most forgiving heroes in the game right now. Whether it's her healing, where you just have to spray a little bit on your teammates where you don't even have to be accurate half the time, the linger heal will still allow her to be an effective healer, where that same ideology can be seen when it comes to her damage, where you don't even have to have your crosshair on the enemy to still be an effective DPS healer. And with a heal or damage orb that does most of the work for you, where you just have to throw it towards your teammates or throw it onto yourself, it really is setting you up to be an effective healer, but more importantly, an effective DPS healer, because this is where an attractive part about Moira in Overwatch 2 comes into play. With all the healers in the game now having passive healing, that's stacked on top of Moira's ability to be able to gain health whenever she's sucking somebody's soul. So that means in a lot of 1v1 scenarios against support heroes, or even a lot of DPS heroes, you should really get out of that fight unscathed because you gain health while also securing the kill. Just be sure not to get carried away with DPSing with Moira, because you're still a healer at the end of the day. We all saw Soldier 76 coming at one point because he's literally the tutorial hero for the game. However, over the past couple of years, he has changed to require a little bit more skill to him due to the fact that he now has recoil, so you do have to train yourself to pull down on the mouse a little bit. But due to his admittedly low but very consistent damage output, this could be very attractive for a person that is just learning Overwatch, or even wanting to learn the damage role as a whole, that isn't wanting to play a hero like Widowmaker or Cole Cassidy, who isn't so forgiving when it comes to missing their shots. Plus, with a Helix rocket that deals out 120 damage upon impact, but also has a good amount of splash damage, Soldier really is just built for a player that even if you're not hitting every single one of your shots, eventually you're going to find a couple of kills just because you're constantly putting out damage. Plus, with a run ability and a heal pod ability, there's really no bad times to use either of these in a given situation, meaning that you don't need a lot of experience in Overwatch to know when the right time is to run or to heal yourself. Heal yourself when you're low on health and run when you want to get somewhere quick. Plus, I mean, do I even need to mention it? His ultimate tactical visor literally aims for you. I mean, you can't get any more easier than that, where you have something that gives you an aimbot. I mean, even my sister can get a couple of kills with Soldier 76's tac visor. And I don't even have a sister, and that's how easy his ultimate is. So some people might disagree with the fact that Zarya isn't that easy of a hero, which again doesn't mean that she's a skillless hero, but the reason why she's on this list is because of the changes that she received in Overwatch 2. Beforehand, you would have 2 separate abilities where you would bubble your teammate and bubble yourself, and it'd be on an 8-second cooldown. Now in Overwatch 2, you still have 2 bubbles, however, they're shared on a single charge, where you can use 2 bubbles to bubble yourself back to back, or use 2 bubbles to bubble a teammate, or you can bubble your teammate and bubble yourself just like in Overwatch 1. But more than likely, what a lot of Zarya players do, basically every Zarya player, is that they're bubbling themselves back to back because they're the only tank on the field. You're at the front line, you're absorbing a lot of damage, but the beautiful part about Zarya is that it's a way of protection, but also a way of charging your DPS. This is why I chose Zarya to be one of the more easier heroes to be effective, because it's so easy to get charged with Zarya. Now, obviously, tracking is a different story. That obviously takes some skill, but then again, a lot of heroes in Overwatch takes some quote-unquote skill to be able to track or aim, so that's not really an excuse for why Zarya can't be an easy hero. The way that she's set up right now in Overwatch 2, with the amount of bubbles that you get and the amount of charge that you're always sustaining for yourself, really sets you up to be a very lethal tank in Overwatch 2. Plus, also, the bubbles just give you protection, so even if you're not utilizing the damage, at least you're not dying because you do have bubbles to protect you from the enemy damage. Plus, not to mention, half of your health is is shield, so if you refuse to go get health packs, or if your Moira is being a damaged Moira, like I mentioned beforehand, you're gonna automatically regenerate health because of your shield. Plus, I mean, I don't even have to talk about the grab. That's still one of the best ultimates in the game that even if you suck, well, another DPS will take advantage of your grab. Just be sure to try to get at least 2 people if you suck that bad to where you can't get a full team in your grab. So I'll fully admit, I kind of struggled with trying to find the second DPS to put on this list because since it's 5v5, I wanted 1 tank, 2 DPS, and 2 support on this list, and I decided to go with Mei. Now, I'll fully admit that this could be my biasness showing because, well, of course I would find Mei easy because I have hundreds of hours on Mei. It'd be no different than if a Genji main was watching this video with 1,000 hours on him and a premium Crunchyroll subscription saying, oh, well, Genji's one of the most easiest heroes of all time, why do you put it in? But a big reason why I put Mei on the list is because of the recent changes that she got in Overwatch 2, where she might not be able to freeze anybody with her primary form of fire anymore, but it does do 100 damage per second, which is very easy to do considering that all you really have to do is be semi-accurate with her primary freeze. You're gonna see a lot of the same theme in a lot of these heroes, is that we're looking for forgiving heroes. Widowmaker, not very forgiving. Mei, yeah, you can miss a couple of your primary freeze, or a slow as it's called, and still do a decent amount of damage. And while some people argue saying that her secondary fire, her icicle shot, is kind of hard to use, and I'll even sympathize with that because I'm learning keyboard and mouse and I'm having a tough time trying to grasp the icicle shot again, all you really have to do is just spam it down a long hallway and eventually you will get a headshot because she has no fall off damage when it comes to her secondary fire. Plus, even if you're doing terrible while trying to use your primary freeze and you're taking a lot of damage, you have a self-healing ability with your ice block. And also her ultimate that can literally stop people in their tracks and freeze them to allow you to use your secondary fire to get easy insta kills. Mei really is the hero built for the player that can admit to themselves that they're not accurate with heroes like Soldier, Cole Cassidy, and Ashe, which is probably why I love playing her. Yeah, it was intentional to put Mercy at the last spot on this list, not because I'm afraid of her community coming after me. Okay, that's exactly why. Mercy's always gotten this reputation that she is a skillless hero, which I never agreed with, because if you ever played Mercy, you are always the target for every DPS hero. The Tracer, the Genji, the Doomfist, the Soldier, the Widow, everybody is coming after you because you're such an effective healer, which is why I put her on this list, is because you can't deny that her effectiveness is kind of easier to grasp onto. You heal your team with your yellow beam, which you're accurate with 100% of your time compared to someone like Baptiste or Ana, or you damage boost your DPS, which in Overwatch 2 is a lot more effective than you might think. With 1 less tank and with tanks granting you 30% less damage ultimate generation, you're more inclined to be pocketing your DPS. Now, while that might initially sound like that's my toxic masculinity trying to spread propaganda so that I get more pocket mercies in my game, I mean, that's just kind of how the progression from Overwatch to Overwatch 2 has been. With 1 less tank, I mean, who are you really trying to heal now? Because the tanks just have so much sustainability, you have a lot more time to pocket or take time for yourself. Hey, you can be the DPS Mercy if you want, because even when you activate your ultimate, you're a decent DPS, I can't lie. But it's really that initial effectiveness that I think would be very fitting for new players or even veteran players that wants to find a new challenge when it comes to run away from flank heroes, because man, you're going to be getting a lot of those. But those are just a few heroes that I think are going to be a lot more easier to play in Overwatch 2. That doesn't mean they're skillless, but I think their effectiveness can grant new players a lot more wins than if they were to play other heroes. And if you want to see another video where I look at the opposite, some of the hardest heroes to play in Overwatch 2, then I can definitely do that. But I will see you guys in another Overwatch 2 video. So I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch 2 videos to come, and bye.